Hey everybody, welcome back to Stats with Aheli. In our last episode, we covered the core data types in R, right? Logical, integer, numeric, character, and NA. If you missed that one, go back and check it out first because today's episode is totally building right on top of it, okay? And today, I'm going to talk about something every beginner trips over at least once: the rules for naming variables in R, plus the symbols and operators you will be using in literally every single script you write from here on out. That is the assignment operator, arithmetic, relational, and comments. Okay, so let's get into it. First, look at here. Rules for naming a variable in R. So before we start throwing variables around, R actually has some strict rules about what counts as a valid name. Break these and R will throw an error at you. So let's make sure that never happens. As you can see, there are some rules here written. First rule is a variable name must begin with either a letter, that is from capital A to Z, capital Z, or from small a to small z, or a dot. So something like X or data one or dot temperature are all fine starting points. All right, just a moment. Yes, so what was it talking about? That the names, right? Variable names. So what were the examples? It can be any letter, as I said, from A to Z. So let me take X, okay, small letter X or capital letter X, and I can take data one. Like I can take a set of characters and I can take a number, okay, in the variable name, and then I can start with a dot. But there is another rule for that. Look at the next rule. That is the rule number two. If a variable name begins with a dot, the second character cannot be a number. So dot one X is not allowed. But if I write dot x1, that is allowed because the right after that dot you cannot put a number. Okay, so that is the rule. Now come to rule number three. Rule number three says that variable names can contain letters, digits, a dot, or an underscore, but nothing else. Okay. Now rule number four says that R is case sensitive. Now what does this mean? This likely trips up every beginner first. Okay. Look at like understand what I'm saying. If I write in capital letter, uppercase letter, RAM. Okay, that is different. Now if I write capital letter R and then small letter A and M, that is like just like how we write, right? So that is again ram, but the case is different. And if I write in the third type, that is all small letter ram, okay, small letter R, small letter A, and then M, that is again different. So R will treat all these three words, these three variable names, as different variable names. All right, so this is what R is case sensitive means. All right, so when you are working with variable names and you're working on an assignment and you see that there is an error in naming, then you have to check this. Okay, you need to check your capitalization when things aren't working the way you expect. Okay, now coming to rule number five, that is you cannot use a reserved word. Now what is that? Words R has already claimed for its own built-in use as a variable name. Those are called the reserved words. Things like for, while, loop, repeat, pi, x for exponent, and then sine, cos, all these names are already taken. Okay, so you cannot use those reserve words for using as a variable name. All right, now coming to the rule number six, as you can see, spaces and special characters, you can think like hyphen or percentage or hashtag or dollar sign or percentage sign. These are special characters, right? And even spaces, you cannot use that in variable name at all. Okay. Yes. Now, these were the rules for naming a variable in R, as you can see. Now, coming to reserved words in R. That is our segment two. Like, this is very quick. I want to do it very quick, but important side note. See, some words are already reserved, as I was saying to you, by R's code interface, meaning you simply cannot use them as variable names no matter what. Now, these include what? As you can see here: if, else, repeat, for, while, function, true, false, capital letter true and false. As I was telling you in the previous episode only, that while you are writing anything logical operators, please write in caps. Then what happens, that is a standard reserved word for R, then there will be no confusion for either of you or R. Okay, so it will be better for both. Now yes, what else are there? Null, na, inf, nan, pi. Okay, now keep this list in the back of your mind. If your code ever throws a weird naming error, this is one of the first things worth checking. Okay, okay, now coming to, just a moment, coming to the next part, assignment symbols. Now from here, you are going to see some things in the code, right? Yes. So assignment symbols are like, you actually give a variable a value. This is called assignment, right? Now I was using this assignment operator in my previous class also. But anyway, I'm just formally defining it wrong. See, this sign, as you can see, this one, this is called the assignment operator in R, which is also most commonly used. It assigns whatever is on the right hand side to the variable on the left hand side. All right. Suppose you have a variable on the left hand side, as you can see, this is the variable on the left hand side, and this value is on the right hand side. So what does this assignment operator do? It assigns the value on the right to the variable on the left. That means that I'm assigning the value 5 to the variable x. Now let us see if this works. What is the command for, as I'm using the Mac? So the command here is command plus return, but for Windows it will be control plus R. All right. So let's try. I have run the code. Now I'm calling for x. Like, what is the value for x? See, the output is giving 5, right? So this is one of the assignment operator, as you can see. The next assignment operator is, we are very familiar with this, that is the equals to sign. So equals to is also an assignment operator, but it's mainly used within functions for assigning a value to a specific argument or parameter, rather than for general variable assignment. Okay, so when we are trying to assign a variable, then we usually use the assignment operator, which is the first one, as I was showing. Okay, now this, I have not given an example on this. Let me show here only if this works. See, this is also working, right? Now again I'm getting the output to be 5. Now, as a rule of thumb, you can use this operator for your everyday variable assignment, and you will be following standard R convention. That is all which I mean. But when you're using for numbers, you can definitely use equals to, right? Okay, now coming, oh, I had this. See, the same thing only. Anyway, coming to arithmetic symbols. These are the operators you will use to actually do math in R, right? We already know that. First is the addition, that is used for adding two or more variables or a variable to a constant. Look at here. I am assigning the value 5 to x, and in the next line, I'm assigning 6 to y. And then I am trying to run the code to add the two variables. I'm using the assignment, this arithmetic symbol plus. Okay, let me see if this works. First line of code is x is 5. Okay, and now see, look at one important observation, that is for this hash, this line is getting printed. That is, for one hash the line gets printed in the console, but it is not working. It is just getting printed for your own use. It is not like, it is not an output, or this is not something which is I mean, which R runs. Okay, anyway, coming to the next line, that is y is now 6, and now I want to do x plus y. It is coming perfectly, the output to be 11. The next operator is subtraction, as you can see here. Okay, let's do that. X is 6, y is 5, and now I want to do what? X minus y. It is coming to be 1, perfectly fine. Next is multiplication. See, the answer is coming to be 30. The 6 into 5, x is 6, y is 5, and x multiplied with y, it will be 30. And see, this slash sign is division, and here I am taking x to be 6, y to be 3, and I want to divide this. See, the answer is coming nicely. Okay, and this is basically the exponent sign, right? So what is that? Like raising a number to a power. Okay, so let's try. It is happening 2 raised to the power 3. Okay, and now see this. This is percentage and percentage. Okay, both clubbed together. This is the modulus sign. What does the modulus sign do? This gives you the remainder after the division. Okay, as you can see. Oh, I have done the next one too. Okay, look at here first. 7 percentage percentage 2. This will give you what? Percentage percentage. Wait a minute. See, it will give you 1. Okay, because 2 into 3 6, and the remainder is 1, right? Okay, now coming to this one, percentage slash percentage. Now what does this do? This is for the integer division. Okay, now what is now integer division? It is like, you can think of it like this, like a vending machine. Like you are trying to get something, okay, and you have given some extra amount. Now it will give you for the amounts which they have. Okay, for example, you are giving something for 50 rupees, and the price for that particular thing which you want is 40. So it will give you 140 item, and it will not like, it cannot give the fraction amount of the item, right? So that is what you can relate in real life example for integer division. Okay, so let us see that. See, for integer division, what are you getting? The, it gives only the whole number part. Okay, so yes, that is all for segment number 4. Now coming to segment 5. What is segment 5 here? Relational symbols. These operators compare two values and return a logical result, true or false. Okay, you need to remember this part, that what kind of result will they give? They will give logical result. Let us see. Okay, first one is equals to equals to. This will check if two values are exactly equal. Exactly equal. Look at this. I'm taking x to be 5 and y to be 6. And now I'm trying to check if x is exactly equal to y. Then let us see what happens. It is false. 5 is not equals to 6, right? Okay, now coming to the next operator, that is it. This exclamation mark is basically standing for not. Okay, so not equal. This checks if two values are not equal. Let us see. Here I'm saying again x is 5 and y is 6, and here I'm taking this operator x not equal y. Let us see what happens. See, it is true because x is not equals to y, right? 5 is not equals to 6. That is why it is showing this. Now, this is just you have already learned all these things. That is this greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, lesser than or equals to. So this is just relational symbols. As you can see, I'm taking x to be 7 and y to be 4. And now I'm seeing x is greater than y. Let us see. That is true because x is 7 and y is 4. And now I want to see that x is less than y. That is false. Now to see that x is greater than equals to y. That is true because x is of course greater than y, and x is now lesser than equals to y. It will be false. Okay, so these are the things on coming under the relational symbols. Okay, now coming to the segment 6, that is a special symbol, the comment. Now I have used this hash command so many times here also. Look at this. Hash is ours comment symbol. Okay, anything you write after a hash on a given line will simply be ignored by R when the script runs. It won't try to execute it. That is what I was trying to say, right? So this is incredibly useful for leaving yourself notes inside the code. Okay, like I do all the time throughout my own scripts, as you can see. So you remember basically what a line is doing when you come back to it later. For example, here I have written that x is 7 and y is 4, and I am trying to see that x is greater than y. Now I am writing in the command section, comment part, that is x is greater than y, and this whole part is just a comment. Let us see if it is. As you can see, this part is not getting, it is just getting printed. This is not run by the R. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next part of our video. Yes, this is the segment 7, which is the help operator, which is basically our question mark. Now that is very nice to see that whenever you're writing a question mark before any thing which you want to know, and you get the answer. This is what basically